Hi, I'm Andrew from Qubit, here with Sonicstate at NAMM 2017. I'm going to show you 4 new modules that we're going to release this year. First module is the Tone. The Tone is a quad voltage-controlled filter in 18 HP. It's an all-analog design with a 24 dB slope, and it has a really classic tone to it. Right now we have our polyphonic oscillator, the chord, running through channel 1. Here's what the low-pass output sounds like. If we add resonance to that, each channel also has a bandpass output. Here's what that sounds like. If we add resonance to that, each channel has a CV input for cutoff with an associated attenuverter, allowing us to attenuate and invert the incoming CV. Right now we have an envelope generator, sending an envelope to channel 1. We can invert that CV. The module is capable of self-oscillation when resonance is turned all the way up. I'll show that on channel 2. And each CV input is calibrated to volt per octave, so it can double as a sine wave oscillator. Right now we have a sequence coming in. All those controls repeat for each of the 4 channels, and that's the Tone. The Tone will be released in March, and the retail price will be $299. The next module we have is the Chance. The Chance is a random voltage generator in 14 HP. It has 3 distinct types of random voltage outputs, as well as a blend output, which is a configurable mix between all the 3 voltage types. If we take our smooth output, modulate filter cutoff of the Tone. The smooth output chooses a destination value upon each clock pulse and slowly ramps up or down to that value, the speed of which can be controlled with the rate knob, getting faster as the clock gets faster.
So can you externally clock as well?
You can, yeah. So it has an internal clock, can range from glacially slow all the way up to low audio rate. And of course it can be modulated or clocked externally as well. So
when you're clocking externally, can you go faster than the internal clock?
You can a little bit, yes. Yeah. The next output we have is the Discrete Output. This is very similar to running white noise through a sample and hold. At each clock pulse, it just chooses a new random value and then holds it until the next clock pulse is received. Next output is the wavetable output. The wavetable randomly selects between sine, triangle, and sawtooth wavetables and plays it back at a randomly selected frequency. The frequency it plays back is always related to the internal tempo though, so it's always going to sound synced to whatever speed the module's running at, and you can hear that here. Lastly, we have the blend output. Now the blend output is a configurable mix, which is set by the blend knob. So currently, we're only hearing the smooth output. If we move this to the right, we are hearing a mix between the smooth and the discrete. Just the discrete, mix between discrete and wavetable. And if we move it all the way to the right, it's going to automatically select a new distribution between the voltage types on its own. Each output has an attenuverter, which scales the output between plus 10 and negative 10 volts. Next to the blend knob, we have the freeze button, which does exactly as it sounds. It just causes all the outputs to hold their current values until you hit freeze again, and then it keeps running. There's a gate input for that as well, so if you wanted to modulate it. On the other side, we have the coin toss button. The coin toss button causes new random values to be chosen for each output. So it's really just it's a manual advance for the internal random voltage architecture. Beneath that we have the rate knob, I already showed, and then along the bottom we have the rest of our outputs. So left to right we have the clock output, a random gate burst output, analog white noise, digital noise, and then we have a rhythm output. Now what the rhythm output is it's musical random gates. Now what that means is that at each clock pulse it's going to choose a division or multiplication of that tempo, and then it's going to output it as a gate signal. The range of values that it outputs is selected with the rhythm knob. As you turn it from left to right, the range of values becomes more complex and starts to include things like 30-second notes and triplets at the top of its range. And that's the Chance. The Chance will be released in April, and the price is yet to be determined. The next module we have is the Contour. And the Contour is a quad envelope generator in 20 HP. It's currently modulating channel 1 of the tone. Each channel has an attenuverter, so we can attenuate and invert the CV from +10 to -10 volts. We have attack and decay knobs, which set the attack and decay times for the envelope.
Also got, are they CV inputs over attack and decay?
Exactly, yeah, so each of them has an associated CV input. In addition to being triggered, each channel can loop, allowing it to function as an LFO. It has an extremely wide cycle time range, going from 5 milliseconds all the way to 20 minutes at its longest. The shape button allows us to switch between linear and exponential shapes. Right now we have a nice linear envelope. If we hit the shape button, it's going to let us get really short, snappy envelopes, great for percussive sounds. We chose the name Contour because of its unique chaining capabilities. Each channel can be linked to another one so that when the first channel finishes its cycle, the next envelope begins on the other channel. So I'll demonstrate that. Hold down the loop button for 3 seconds. We can then select one of the 3 other channels to link to channel 1. So we'll hit channel 3, exit the mode. You'll notice every time channel 1 finishes its cycle, channel 3 gets triggered. We can then link channel 3 to channel 2. And we have 3 envelopes getting triggered from a single gate input, which makes for a very versatile modulation. And that's the Contour.
Especially, I suppose, if you were, modulating the decay time of your original one to trigger the others, then you could get really kind of weird modulation.
Exactly. And what's really cool is you can actually set each one to link the other one, so you can get a back and forth sort of pattern happening. So now we'll link channel 2 to channel 3, exit the mode, and they're going to go back and forth. So even if we stop hitting this one, this will still trigger channel 3, right? So the retail price is going to be $279. They'll be shipping next week, actually. We have pre-orders live on our website starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And the last module we're releasing this year is the Mixology, one that we announced last year at NAMM. We've added quite a few things. We've added a send and return channel, a VU meter, and we increased the size to 28 HP to make it a more performable interface. It's a 4-channel mixer with stereo outputs. Each channel has a bipolar level CV input, which allows for audio ducking if you send it negative voltage. Each channel has CV over send amount, so if we take some random voltage from the nanorand, plug it into send. Right now we have a stereo reverb on our send channel. That can be set with the send knob as well. We have CV over pan position. So here we have a random distribution between the channels. That can be set with the pan knob as well. It's a constant power pan, so there's no dip in the middle, which is really nice. Each channel has a level slider, which can give us up to +6 dB of gain. Each channel can be muted, and each channel can be soloed. And that's the Mixology.
So what was the price on that one, sir?
So the price is yet to be determined, but it will be released in late February.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.